You take your moments. Not a K, an SCH. I know. So sorry.
Hi.
Yeah. Okay, take a deep breath in the first word whenever you're ready.
Okay. Like, I never actually got the stretch today. But, hello, my name is Skylar. I believe that eloquence is something, or at least the lack thereof, has shaped me into the flower girl that you see before you today. Instead of saying that I come from South LA, born and bred, broken home, come from a hard family, got everything by myself, although these things may be true, I believe that talking about how my family is from Belize and how my dad is of Yoruban descent is a little bit more interesting to the simplistic ear. In order for you all to get to know me better, I will explain my past hardships, my future goals, and my present dreams. So starting off with my past, I went to Hamilton High School, Alexander Hamilton High School, Louise, and I was dealing with how to figure out how to be comfortable with myself, despite so many people constantly degrading me and telling me that I should stay in my place and settle for roles such as being a maid in a play. That's a story on its own that I could say, but it was the entire 4 years of me going to high school was kind of a hardship because I didn't get to actually be able to express myself in a performing arts school because there was no actual opportunities for me to be a part of the program until my senior year. So I was also not even a part of the music academy. And I knew the head of the administration, and down to the point where my senior year, when I was saying, I'm not even in the music academy, I'm not even getting an award for all the shit that I've been put through. Sorry. But she told me, oh, you're not in the music academy? Why didn't you tell me? I would have just put you in. It's my senior year. It was 2 months before we graduated, and I didn't. Yeah. So despite adversity, I chose to be selfless. Despite the people who purposely left me at Century City before I knew the Blue Bus schedule, I was there until like 2 a.m. because they thought me being forward about me being uncomfortable with being forced to play a black maid in the 1930s with a skirt that is above my knee. When I told the director that I was uncomfortable with auditioning for that role because that wasn't the role of my intent, despite that director saying that he was casting colorblind, everyone should just stop saying that word forever. Unless you're actually seeing in monochrome, don't say that you're seeing colorblind. Despite peers and faculty telling me to settle, I refused to be selfish. And moving on to my future goals, because I was constantly hushed and told to settle, I chose to express myself through the arts. And even with a family that doesn't really want me, well, more so on my dad's side, I'm not really encouraged to be an artistic person. I'm supposed to be a lawyer come like 8 years from now. I'm not opposed to being a lawyer, but I want to be able to have different mediums because I have a very intricate mind, and I can tell a story about that. A few weeks ago, I went to a place called the Sugar Shack. It's off Pico and right before Crenshaw. It's not only a place where you can have shows and performances, but it's also a group home, and I didn't know that until I got in there. When I got in there and I actually went inside of the house, everything looked very familiar. And I realized, wow, this is the house that I dreamt of at least 3 years ago, because I spent an entire summer lucid dreaming, and it was the house down to the shed. I went in, Yeah. This I'm telling you about how conscious I am of my subconscious. I walked into a place that I had never seen, but had dreamt of the place intricately, down to the shed, down to the rooms, down to the stairs. I have a very complex mind, so that goes into what I illustrate, when I'm drawing, when I'm singing, dancing, acting, writing, directing my own pieces. Even right now, I'm working on somebody's album cover that I met at the Sugar Shack, ironically. And that's kind of one of the first things that I've been able to actually work on and be able to express myself, but also let other people see it. And from pushing on to my present dreams, my art is inspired by my hardships. For examples, lack of sex education, as well as being comfortable with having masculine features but being in a feminine body. Like, I only just recently started wearing pink because I'm comfortable with the color now, not because it's associated with being a woman. And I was pushed to wear pink all my life, and it just made me so uncomfortable because I didn't feel that it was the right color scheme for me yet. And the fact that at 7 I was worrying about a color scheme of my clothes, living in 2000s when there was no fashion. You know, y'all know the monkey shirts that we were wearing, the plaid pink pants. You all remember that, okay? Yeah. So the fact that we're not allowed to be comfortable with the colors that we want to wear. I want to be able to express that with my art, and I want to be able to have detail within the simplistic things. In conclusion, I told you about my past hardships, my future goals, as well as my present dreams. And I hope that helped you get to know me better.